तत्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम। Verse number 17, 1-7. मानसं तु किं मार्गणे कृते नैव मानसं मार्ग आर्जवात् वृत्तयस्त्वहं वृत्तिमाश्रिताः वृत्तयो मनो विद्यहं मनः अहमयं कुतो भवति चिन्वतः ऐपतत्यहं निज विचारणम् अहमिनाशभाजहमहं तया स्फुरतिरुत्स्वयं परमपूर्णसत् इदमहं पदाभिख्यमन्वहम् अहमिलीनके प्यलय सत्तया विग्रहेन्द्रिय प्राणधीतमः नाहमेकसत्तज्जडं ह्यसत् ईश जीवय सत्व चित्पवेतरा सत्तया हि चित्तया ह्यहम् ईश जीवयोर्वेषधिभिदा सत्स्वभावतो वस्तु केवलम् सत्स्वभावतो वस्तु केवलम्. We have been talking about what is Ishvara Darshana. You know, what is the vision of the Lord? And we saw 3-4 things. If vision is to go somewhere, it is going to be something where you go there with a return ticket. And it is something where you don't get PR, nor citizenship, nor green card. You are only on H1 visa, not even H1 visa. You don't have work permit there. You are only on a visitor visa. That is Ishvara, Loka, going to Loka. If the darshana takes place here, maybe it might be my mental projection, or it may be real one also. It's a great blessing. It may be an answer to my prayers. Devotees want that. Ishwar, I want to see you. I want to talk to you. I want to hug you. I want to be with you. That's a great thing. Or it may be just a grace that he gave you darshan. And it's very, very absorbing also. Very fulfilling also. But the fact that he gave darshana, he will disappear also. Darshana will be lost, and that darshan is a partial darshan because it's a subjective darshan. You see him, others don't. That is, it is like seeing a dream. It's a subjective reality. You have to account for the Ishvara of this objective world. Once you come out of that bhava, once you are out of that devotion, once you are out of that vision, you have to see him here. You have to see the Ishvara. Without that bhava also, you have to see Ishvara while dealing with the world also. Even if he gives you separate world, still you need to see him, that order. And that darshanam always leaves the fellow seeking more darshanam, seeing him again, wanting to be with him again. And suppose he gives you what all you want, still doesn't solve the problem. It is mentioned in Puranas that Dhruva is crying today. He got that thing. He is a blessed child, maybe some Purvajanma Atma, evolved soul, as they say. And with a short tapas, he got Ishvara in front of him, gave the boon. And they say he gave him a special loka, world. And in Gujarati we have bhajan. Hari ne bhajata hajis koi ne laaj jata nati jani. Then there is a one line. Dhruva ne aapyu avichal raj. Ravana samharyo. He gave him avichal raj, kingdom of Dhruva. But Dhruva is crying today. It's mentioned. He says, what did I ask for? I have to be in this Dhruva Loka and manage Loka. I should have Ishvara 24/7. And that is possible only one way. When it is possible, when you have to know him. Listen, this desire to see the Lord, desire to meet the Lord, desire to experience the Lord, it's absolutely absorbing, something divine, something grace, all right, needs to be converted into desire to know the Lord. Arjuna had him physically. All Pandavas had him physically. The Kunti was his auntie, what we call his bua, not simple auntie. In English, I have no word. His father's real sister. And he respected him as aunt. It is mentioned that he used to bow down to Kunti Mata. Not Kunti, he used to bow down to Yudhishthira. Because he was elder brother. Respected him. And always said, this is my view, and oh brother, whatever you say, I will obey. But still Kunti at the end of the day says, Vivada Shantu Shaswat Jagat Guru. Oh Bhagavan, let me have more and more pain or difficult times, whereby I learn to remember you so that I can see you again. Because the seeing Lord is something other than myself. Knowing Lord is to be something as myself. Why you need to convert this desire of seeing or experiencing into knowing? Because I told you last time, what one thinks or what the Lord is quite different than what he is thought to be, what he is considered to be, what he is believed to be. Two types of belief, but it is same. The Lord is not here around. Somewhere up. Now this concept of up is also relative. This is wrong thinking. Because in the morning when you say up, earth is in this direction. On east, my east is like this. I'm facing north. And in the evening when you say up, the earth has moved around. It's different up. Every moment your up changes. Then in that case, poor Lord has to be like communication satellite, also has to rotate according to the movement of Earth. All these modern satellites are moving just to maintain the alignment with a certain things in a certain angle. And Lord has to move how many alignments? And how many people are praying? In all directions, there may be somebody in the South Pole. His up is down below South. And fellow on the North Pole, his up is on the North up. And on the equator, his up is either east or west. Let he is thought to be different. See, what he is, to know that you require him only. Because he is limitless. He has to reveal himself or herself. First of all, whether it is he or she or it, you do not know. Considered to be he in most of the religions, except our Dharma, where it is she also. Bhagavan is she also. Therefore, I quoted that verse, Tava tattvam na janami kidrushosi Mahadeva. Oh, Mahadeva, I don't know. Who are you and what are you? Yadrushosi Mahadeva. Whatever you may be, my namaskara to you. I don't know. To know him, the means or the pramana to know the Lord is his own vakyas. That is Shastra. And how does he reveal himself? I mean, when I say he, please consider it she and it also. Okay? Since that Ishvara Tattva is limitless, you cannot limit him to male sex, male gender or female gender. Nor you can say it's a neuter. It has to be all the three and beyond all the three. If he is the Ishvara. Anyway, or I'll use he by out of force of habit, but you can construe as she and it also. How does he reveal himself in Shastra? Shastra is a pramana to know him. And to know, yesterday one point we said that whether he is or not, he says I am. Because the very world speaks of his existence. It is very intelligent creation. So many things are put together. It's an assembly. And it is purposeful also. Any assembly which is purposeful and which is intelligently put together has to have a creator. Exactly like your car. It is intelligently put together, purposeful, and so many things are tire and tube and chassis and bonnet and engine and oil pipe and oil tank, everything. There has to be some creator. This very nature of the creation speaks of very, very intelligent creator. Yesterday I told you about WBC. To see that WBC, you need a microscope which can magnify it. That WBC has intelligence to identify the foreign bacteria. What an intelligence. And what a complex structure. What a processing house Bhagavan has given the tummy. Any color of food you dump in, whether it is a roti or white idli or sambar or red pickle or green chili or cucumber or carrot or beet or anything, all processed in and brought into one color of blood, full stop. That's red. The food may not be red at all. You might not have eaten tomatoes. But you might have eaten typical yellow food like Gujarati khaman dhokla. You had only khaman, but gets into that. Very intelligent creation. Now, how he has revealed, to come to that understanding, you need to know every creation presupposes two causes minimum. You require knowledge and you require a material. Knowledge presupposes the creation. Or I would say every creation is nothing but manifestation of knowledge. Or you can say grossification of knowledge. It is, knowledge is subtle here. Like even a building, high-riser building. The architect has a knowledge. Structural engineer has a knowledge. And that knowledge manifests in the form of this building. Therefore, they start with designing. Then first you need architect, then a contract. Even the food that lady of the house makes it, the homemaker lady makes a food, is also manifestation of her knowledge. She cannot cook something which she doesn't know. You need knowledge first. Ask a South Indian lady to create bajra, rotla and odo. Bengal ka bharta and bajre ka roti. She cannot. And ask a Gujarati lady, to make idli sambar. She cannot. You may say, no, Swamiji, they make it. It is only our Gujju dal. They call it sambar. You should eat to go to Tamil Nadu, Madras and eat a South Indian sambar. Then you know what a sambar is. It is like our Chinese dishes, hawkers on the lari gallas, they sell Chinese items. That is not Chinese. The Chinese wonders. It is the original Chinese. One of my students had some Chinese guest and he took them to Chinese food and then they ate it. He says, what is this? It is your Chinese item. He was wondering, this is our item. So if a Gujarati idli sambar you call a South Indian lady, a typical traditional Iyengar lady, all suchi buchi lady, and then she asked her, and hey, this is idli sambar. He said, what this sambar is? You don't know. Anyway, you need knowledge. Coming back to this. In fact, from this point of view, look at every country's, some of the exports and imports are nothing but import and export of knowledge. Software is knowledge. Or our Indian brands, this Maruti Suzuki. That Suzuki is Japan. Maruti is ours. Now Suzuki is knowledge. Kawasaki Bajaj. Kawasaki is knowledge. Hero, Honda. That Honda is knowledge. And all our IIT fellows in San Francisco and Dallas and Phoenix, this is Indian export of knowledge. Export, import. Anyway, mere knowledge does not produce. Along with knowledge, you require a material to produce. Lady may know how to cook, but she needs those ingredients at home. Sometimes children or husband reveal to her, why don't you cook this today? He says, I can, but I don't have such and such a grain or such and such a thing. I cannot cook it without it. So you require a material. The knowledge is called nimitta karanam. Material is called upadana karanam. Knowledge is called intelligent cause. Material is called material cause. with reference to this creation, as we saw part of it, where is Lord? He cannot be within nor without. All religion, most of the religions say that he is omniscient and omnipotent. सर्वज्ञ सर्वशक्तिमान है भगवान, सब कुछ जानता है, सर्वज्ञ है. That's fine. But except our Vedas, as far as I know, none of them talk about the second cause. Where did he find the material to create this world? What is the material that he creates this? The answer, if he finds it outside himself, that means somebody has provided a material and he creates. That means this Bhagavan becomes a contractor, like government contractor, departmental. They supply you material and contractor executes. The answer is he found the material within himself, or he is the material also. So Ishvara is both, is the material cause as well as intelligent cause. Our Shastra adds one more thing. How one material can become many. And the becoming many is sometimes opposite to its nature. When you say Lord is all consciousness, He is limitless, how come limited things are there? How come inert things are there? He is not subject to time, He is free from birth and death. How come there is birth and death here? How do you find that? So the creation is very peculiar creation. Generally, it is as the cause, so the creation. But if it is not like the cause, there is some creative power. That his creative power is called Prakriti. That creative power is called Maya. What you call Maya or what you call Prakriti is that it is a capacity, attribute that Ishvara has to create. To be that non-dual becomes many. Bahus Syam Ekah. The one became many. The sentient became inert. The limitless became limited. Beyond time became within time. Changeless became changing because it's a material cause. When the created thing is something different, looks like, then the material cause, the creative power, it has to have some creative power, which is called Prakriti, or other words is Maya. When you go to a magician's show, I remember having seen, we had one magician called Mr. K. Lal. He used to put a jug, water jug on the table, and after every 10-15 minutes, he will pour water in a glass. Water of India, little. And then I had seen that. When the glass is filled up, He will call somebody from the audience. Sir, see, is this water? He will confirm, yes, there is water. He, he would call for a rose and then he would cover the glass with his piece of cloth and do all styles they do, some chanting, blah, 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 and then call another 5 people. And from a distance, I was in the first row. I've seen that. I had a VIP pass. There was a vapor coming out. Same glass. Few minutes ago, the other guys said it is water. They drank out of it. And now, it is, my God, tea. They tasted hot tea. Typical Gujju masala chai. Then called for a rose, covered it and stirred that rose with the stick and the glass. And then he literally threw the tea on the audience. And everybody did like this. So the hot tea would come to him. Nothing came, rose petals came. Now listen this. Just listen this carefully. If he can make tea out of water, next day morning he will not ask his wife, give me a cup of tea. She would ask him. Because he can really make a tea out of that. And she would also ask him, give me some good roses, I want to put it in my hair. Doesn't happen. Next day, he tells her, get me a cup of tea, and she prepares at home daily. That means that water getting converted into tea was apparent, not real. And capacity to create something apparent, in English it is called magic, or our Sanskrit word is Maya. Understand? That creative power is called Maya. There is no real tea. What they drank may be real tea. But really you can never ever convert from water a tea without doing anything. Without milk and without masalas and without fire and without tea leaves, nothing. You cannot make it. And if he could make it, I am sure he should have started a coffee day like chain of tea shops. The product he gives, sells, it has no manufacturing cost. It was 100% profit business. But he did magic, show and charge the fees. That shows it is apparent tea. It doesn't get converted, but appears to be. And from tea, it has not been rose petal also. That is apparent. That power to make it apparent, create an apparent creation, is called Maya or Prakriti. The Ishvara who is Upadana Karanam, who is indivisible, formless, timeless, birthless, etc., still creates this. That can be only because of his creative power called Maya. Understand? So, now let's come back to Ishvara and Ishvara Darshanam. That Maya Shakti also can be called as Upadhanakar, because of which he manufactured tea out of water. Similarly, Ishvara who wills Maya. Maya belongs to Mayavi only. Magic belongs to magician only. It is not somewhere outside. Anybody can pick up and have it. It is with him. So that Maya Shakti, he employs or activates that power of magic and creates them. as though becomes many. And therefore, this creation, coming back to this, Ishvara is both efficient cause and material cause. The reason for confusion about what Ishvara is thought to be is only this. In this world, anything that you see that is created is always separate from its intelligent cause. Always. Like a pot maker is different from the pot. Clay is not separate. Material cause of the thing that is created cannot be away, cannot be distinct, or cannot be separate from its material cause. Pot cannot be away from clay if it is a clay pot. A chain cannot be away from the gold if it is a golden chain. A piece of cloth cannot be away from cotton if it is a cotton cloth. But it can be away, and it is away from its intelligent cause. When you buy a chain, goldsmith you don't buy. You buy the gold, all right. When you buy a pot, you don't buy a potter. When you buy a cloth, you don't buy a weaver. You just buy the cotton in this form. So always the nimitta karanam is different from the created thing, and so also the nimitta karana of this creation, Ishvara, who is all-knowing, all-powerful, is considered to be separate from the. Understand? He is non-separate because he is both material cause as well as efficient cause. Being both efficient cause, Vastu cannot be away from its material cause, and therefore Ishvara, like pot, cannot be away from the clay, ornament cannot be away from the gold, so also creation cannot be away from its material cause, namely the Ishvara. And that happens to be the intelligent cause as well. So Ishvara is never away. But because Upadhanam is in the world, this cause is considered away, therefore we look for Ishvara. And our search for Ishvara is like pot searching for clay. Pot wanting to have the vision of the clay. You know? The very search or very urge, very desire to see the clay is born out of conclusion, or I would say confusion, that clay is not with me, I am not clay. Then only it will go for looking for clay. You don't look for a thing or anything which you have it. You know that you have it. Even if you have it, but there is a notion that I don't have it, then only you search for it. Exactly like some of you might have heard this good old example of Swamiji, often used to say this, Puja Swamiji. This fellow was reading a newspaper in the morning, and suddenly his friend came. Then he had a glasses on, and it was a reading glass. Otherwise, his eyes were good. So he just, like a modern guy, put the glasses like this. He put it up, got into conversation, the discussion, and had a cup of tea and all that. And the friend left. He was so absorbed in that thought process discussion that he looked for his glasses. He searched on the table here and there where he was sitting, and he looked on the near the other chair, etc. But he remembered that I have not gotten up from my chair. Where are my glasses? And he called her his wife. Have you taken my glasses? He says, no, I have not taken. No, you must have taken. After all, husband, has to blame the wife. You might have taken. I have not taken. And then the tone changed, and she came from the kitchen and she looked. Glasses are here. She said, I have not taken. You are having your glass. How do I know, etc.? Then he called children. Hey, daughter and son, have you taken the glass? They said, no. They answered from the room. They come here and help me to search the glass. And every husband should know this fact. On certain occasion, mother and children have a very strong coalition government. Okay, your husband is always in minority. Mother and children unite a united front, especially when they grow up. They are with the mom. So mom wing the child. They understood. Mom what? Then mom said, have you seen that glass? I don't think you have seen. You have not come here. She hinted that. Children said, no, we have not seen. We have not seen. The youngest one was little giggling. From his expression, husband understood. Even if I am angry, this fellow is smiling, giggling. Tell me, where is the glass? He shouted. And the baby said, Dad, I can help you. He said, come on, get me. I want to read. Do as I say. Okay. Raise your hand, made him to do some exercise. Like this, like this, like this. The school exercise, simple PT teacher exercise he made. Then he said, come down. The search for our glasses was there because there was a conclusion that I don't have glasses. The desire to have glasses was there out of, I would not use the word conclusion, I would say out of notion that I don't have glass. If Ishvara is Nimitta Karanam and Upadana Karanam both, that's what he reveals himself. Mayam tu prakritim vidyat mainam tu maheshwaram. Mama maya, maya dakshena prakriti, etc. So many verses are there in Gita ji and mantras in Veda. That's being a material cause is not away from the created thing. And I would go a step further. Now listen this carefully. Created thing is not away from material cause. He is both material and intelligent cause. And time and space are also created. They are not absolute. There is a material cause for time and space and air and water and fire and earth, everything. That means what? There is no creation. He only manifests as this. He only appears as this. There is no really creation. That's a Vedic vision. Like in my dream, I say I created a dream, but there is no creation. I appeared as the dream world. I appeared as the dream time and the space and the sun and the heat and the gas and the car and the friends and the accident and corona also. ICU also. Nowadays, people dream of ICUs. Slightest sneezing at home, some people have so much of tension. Swamiji, will I get corona? You sneezed at your home. And you are asking me with a telephone call. I said, no, but today morning I sneezed twice. I think I have some problem in the throat. Maybe temperature. Then measure it. No, but if it comes out, I don't want to measure. What a fear complex. And that fellow says, I may have corona. And he dreamt I was in ICU, quarantine, in one room there, and I puts a bell. He wants ventilator. He's gasping for breath and cannot get up, and nobody comes. Finally gains his strength and pushes himself out, and he fell down while going to doctor. Gave a call bell, but nobody turned up. He was feeling so breathless. He thought, I am dying. Got up from the bed and to call the doctor, and while he was moving, he fell down from the bed to the floor. Nothing. He was dreaming. Corona. There is no creation, it is apparent manifestation. One as many. Now, coming back to this pot search for the clay is from the conclusion that I am not clay. Listen this carefully. When the pot, Mr. Pot has conclusion that I am pot, that means its I is placed in pot. The I sense is nothing but pot sense. Then there is a search for the clay. But that I that is pot in reality is clay. Ultimately, the I sense, I-ness, you can say, of the pot. Mr. Pot's I-ness belongs to clay. It doesn't belong to Mr. Pot. The existence of the pot is because of clay. It's like ornament. The existence of chain is because of gold. And the shine of the chain belongs to the gold only. So, satta and spurti. Pradata. I-ness is there. Now, listen this. That I-ness is called thee here. Pot thee. Okay. The I can be placed. Suppose the pot, that object pot is introducing itself. In fact, in Vyavahara, it has to introduce, but suppose it is a self-identity. Think of it. How does it know? It can place its I-ness in pot, and it can place its I-ness in clay as well. Hey, who are you? He would have said, he can say, I am Mr. Pot. Okay. Or I am Miss Pot. And then there is adjective. I am just 10-liter pot. The other one is 20-liter pot. But he forgets that what he should have said, I am Mr. Clay in the form of pot. That is the real identity. That's ultimate identity. But to say I, place the I into body-mind complex and body-mind complex is upadhi. So Veshadhi Vida. Understand Veshadhi means what? I told you I'll explain it further tomorrow. That I sense, I-ness can be placed in a pot, shape and form, and the pot is only name and form, just a shape. It has some purpose to fulfill. It holds water. And it has a purpose to hold water, to drink water, or to take water from one place to another place, or even modern days as a decoration, drawing room decorative piece. It can be. Can be antique piece, but that's okay. That's a purpose that it fills up. But then Swarupa, the nature of pot, that because of which the pot is, and that is, so I can be placed in a pot and I can be placed in clay. When I is placed in the pot, there is a comparison between superior pot and inferior pot, bigger pot and smaller pot. All kinds of things, complexes. Because I sense is in the pot. If it is in clay, bigger or smaller, after all, everything is. So, Isha Jivayoho Veshadhi Vida. The difference is because the I sense is put in the only Mr. Pot. Whereas the pot is what? There is no real entity as pot. It's a functional entity to hold water. But that it can hold water, it is because there is clay. The reality of pot, the easiness of the pot is clay. So it is an apparent thing, though functional. When we say the world is mithya, we don't deny the functionality of it. It is functional. Because body is equally mithya, world is mithya, it is functional. Dream world, in dream water is mithya and dream person is mithya, it's functional. You dream a fellow in the dream is mithya and the dream Ferrari is also equally mithya. Dream Mercedes is mithya and he uses that Mercedes to go somewhere. That's okay. Functionally, it can be, but then Sarupata, by nature it is, means its easiness doesn't belong to its own. It belongs to clay, belongs to gold, similarly. And there is a Di Buddhi. Which Di Buddhi? Upadhi Buddhi. When I sense is in physio-psycho complex, then there is a Vida difference. Why? Because this body is limited. There is another body, there is another body, there is another body, at least 8.5 billion human bodies. Forget about other bodies, corona bodies. Is a body, mosquito bodies, cockroach bodies, all kinds of. When the Di is in Vesha, then there is Vida. There is a difference. That is duality. Pot is clay all the time. Even when Mr. Pot wants to see the clay, the fellow is not away from the clay. There is a couplet in Hindi, घड़ा ढूंढे मिट्टी को Gada dhonde mitti ko, this wave searches, I don't remember the words, but then it says, the pot is looking for clay, wave is looking for water, Tino, oot ke oot, all the three are foolish, silly, because it is never away. Similarly, the Ishvara that I want to see is never away. To exemplify this, we have a story of Hanumanji. And the story where Hanuman tears his chest. The picture you might have seen, Hanuman tearing the chest, and in between, inside is Rama Sita. Don't do that. Nothing is there inside, okay, except some corona bugs in your lungs or some blood. It's symbolic. Rama is the self. The heart is symbol is the seat of I. I is Rama. So when Hanumanji was asked, hey, who are you? And he says, Deha Buddhya Dasosmi, Jiva Buddhya Tadamshakaha, Atma Buddhya Tvamevaham. From the standpoint of the body, I am your servant. I am your part of it if I look at myself as Upadhi and you as a total. But from the standpoint of I sense, real sense, I-ness, consciousness, you are me, you are not separate. When the I is placed in BMI, there is body-mind complex, there is separation. Ish Veshadhi Vida. Swarupataha Ekam. When the Lord says, suppose He gives you darshana, I am Bhagavan, that I amness is Satchidatma. You say, I am Jiva, small guy. I am a very little fellow. I am nobody in front of you, but I am is everybody that I am. It is like a small wave telling to ocean, I am you. It is I am you from the point of view of H2O, water. It can be small or big. So we call him supreme entity. Give him some extra power and stay him some extra space and place to stay. But these all concepts are silly, childish. You have to grow and appreciate he cannot be away from you. Just as the clay, being a material cause of all pots, can never be away from the pot. So also that Ishvara, who is a material cause, can never be away from me. In fact, while I start the search, he is there. Veshadhi Vida Sat Swabhavato Vastu Kevalam. Kevalam means non-dual Vastu is there. We'll see that part tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday, right? Next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.